you should just embrace it, because at the end, you may never want to be the first, but you definitely don't want to be the last.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Now in this video, I am really excited to bring to you Alexandre Dreyfus, the CEO of Chiliz. And in this video, we're going to be covering the vision, record-breaking milestones, future global expansions, and of course, the price of one Chiliz token. So Alex, great to have you on the line today.
Hi, Jessica. Thanks for the invitation. Happy to see you again.
Great to see you again too. And wow, okay, I have to talk about Chiliz. Even this month, March has been up 1,600% alone. This must feel really amazing.
It's very, first of all, I cannot really comment on the price, by the way. So it's just, the only thing I can say is it's overwhelming, because, you know, we worked for the last more or less 3 years to try to build something. And we would have expected to get more recognition during the last two years on what we do. And suddenly it really took off, at least on the price. And in a good thing and a bad thing in the crypto space is price create the story rather than the story create the price. And suddenly we became super exposed in every media, in the YouTube videos, and there are markets that we were underexposed, like Brazil, for example, which suddenly picked up the last 2-3 weeks. And it's the egg and the chicken, but still thanks to this price action and volume especially, suddenly we are something bigger. So it will go up, it will go down. Honestly, we have no clue. I mean, obviously we have zero control in that. What the most interesting part for us is this price action actually triggered a massive user acquisition on the product, which is actually the most important, because that's our business. And so in the mobile app, socios.com, that you better download, we had so many users, I mean, thousands of users registered every day for the last few days and the last 3 weeks now. And that's interesting, because at some point, what matters for us as a blockchain business is to have users and utility, and users is the key.
And you mentioned outside the price, and I do want to touch on the other things as well. So one of the huge things that really stood out for me, and it must be for all the football fans that are watching around the world, was Ronaldo actually became the first player rewarded in cryptocurrency on Sunday. And this was really a way of marking his record-breaking goal milestone. And that's amazing. It must have been was it quite hard to push forward adoption of cryptocurrencies with clubs, even players, even like football legends like Ronaldo?
So that's a tough one. So, you know, we started in 2018. We signed Paris Saint-Germain and Juventus, which were our two first teams. Then we had more or less, we have 25 teams, including Barcelona, AC Milan, Manchester City that we announced Friday, and of course Turkish team like Galatasaray. And for now, we work a lot with the teams. A lot of education internally, a lot of education outside to try to make people understand what we do, because of course it is complicated and it's very unique. And the next things we are trying to push is the clubs to actually embrace even more the fact that they have a token and that they are promoting their own token. So it's not about promoting Socios or Chiliz anymore, but promoting their token. And the event that happened Sunday, where Ronaldo got his little trophy, it's actually not us. I mean, it's us helping, but it's Juventus giving 770 Juventus fan token to their own players to reward him because he scored 700. I mean, he reached a new achievement of 770 goals. So it's not like, it's definitely not Ronaldo making a deal with us or talking about crypto at all, but still it's another step of having clubs pushing the narrative and owning the product that we have built with them for the last 2 or 3 years. And that will grow more and more every day, every week, every month. It's growing. And that's our job, is to try to push this.
And one of the amazing things about this is, and I think I said this to you before, is for example, my father and my brother that don't know anything about blockchain technology, cryptocurrencies, they don't want to hear it, but they're football fans. And you can explain the concept of Chiliz and Socios without actually having to really use the terms blockchain or cryptocurrency. So from an adoption standpoint, the potential here is amazing. And I think even the chief revenue officer of Juventus actually spoke out on this and said that the stadium holds 41,000 people, but the global fan base is around 400 million. So the potential here is huge from an adoption standpoint. What kind of things are you expecting to happen once sports stadiums open?
So I don't like to say that publicly too often, but I have to say it. COVID-19 was rather a bless for us because it forced clubs to actually rethink their digital strategy, to rethink the fact that they focus most of their time and resources on the 40,000 people they have in the stadium, but yet this 0.01% of their fan base is actually just 0.01%. And you have 99% of your fan base that is not in the stadium, not in the city, and sometimes not even in the country. There is more Juventus fan or Barcelona fan out of Italy and Spain in China than there is in Italy or Spain. So the genesis actually of Chiliz and Socios is this, is how can you engage global fan base? How can you engage and monetize that global fan base? Because you have to acknowledge the fact that someone that lives in Japan, in Korea, in Vietnam, in Brazil, is also entitled to be recognized as a fan. Fans are not anymore the people that necessarily live in the city of the team that they are supporting. And especially because of social media and globalization and broadcasting rights, etc. So as soon as you acknowledge the fact that you can be entitled to be a fan anywhere in the world, you need to recognize them. And to recognize them, the best way is to create a digital asset that make you becoming a super fan or a fan 2.0. And that's the relationship we are trying to build with the clubs, is pushing them a little bit out of their comfort zone in order to say, hey, let's try to engage with these fans all over the world that you have, more casual fans. Sure, they may be not the people who have a tattoo and live in your city, but yet they want to spend money to be recognized with a jersey or to bet or to do anything related to the club. So by creating this digital asset, we are starting to create a new generation of fans. They are not here to replace whoever is already recognized as a fan, but they are here to complete what's there in the market. And that's where we are right now. And that's true. We are generating more revenue for the clubs right now than their existing membership program, because we sell something that is completely different. So we compare apple and oranges anyway. So it's irrelevant. But having said so, it just means that this is a new revenue stream. This is a new vertical for them. And instead of trying to think if it's gonna cannibalize your existing membership program, or if this is bad, you should just embrace it, because at the end, you may never want to be the first, but you definitely don't want to be the last.
That's true. And you said that COVID was a really good kind of incubation system for this, but also the NFT market in 2021 has just like skyrocketed too. Would you have said that has had something to do with the 2021 gain of attention of people actually taking a look into Chiliz and Socios?
For sure. I mean, even though sometimes it frustrates me because you do something for 3 years and suddenly there is something that triggers, that sparkle, that boost of exposure that you get, that is actually not exactly what you are doing, but yet you get the benefit out of it. So it's fine. Actually, when you Google Chiliz and NFT, our first public declaration about NFTs are December 19 and February 2020. So it's not like we ever wanted to come late in the game. It's just that we never have time to actually do what we wanted to do. But so I've been in the internet space for 26 years, 1995. So I've seen cycles going up and down, and hyped cycles, etc. NFTs as a technology, it's 100% here to stay, obviously, the same way there is traditional smart contract and other stuff. Now, the question is, what do you put in this NFT? Because at the end, the NFT is just a tech. And actually, it's a mindset, in all fairness. But for us, we don't do art collectible. It's great. I will probably never be a client of that. I may be an old generation for this, and that's fine. But we're more gonna work on NFTs that are linked, of course, to the teams that we're working with. So, for example, and we teased about that in the past already, is if I own a Juventus token, I could, and Ronaldo is scoring a goal tonight, I could be potentially rewarded with an NFT related to that goal that happened. And because I'm a Juventus fan token holder, then I'm getting rewarded for that. So we are working on something that will happen in a few weeks now that is more event-based And if I own all the goals of Juventus this season, then maybe I could be invited in the Socios box, VIP box that we have in the stadium. And because we have boxes in every single stadium that we are working with, then there is this mix of online, offline that we can probably build.
Are you a sports fan yourself? Because I'm so intrigued as to
Absolutely not.
how you came up with this concept then.
It's a too long story. It came up because I was in the poker business in the past for like 15 years. And we launched a sports event, let's say a sports league called the Global Poker League, GPL. And we did that for 1 year. We raised money. We built a full league with 12 different teams, 12 franchises. It was amazing, but it failed big time. Failed because we didn't have enough money to really like make it bigger as we should. We didn't have the runway, let's say, to make it bigger. We failed because we had an audience, but that was not engaged, maybe because of the format, maybe because of everything. And it's at that time that actually we started to think about what we are doing today is, okay, we own a sports team or a sports franchise. We want to engage our fans. We have like few hundred thousands of viewers on Twitch, Facebook, etc. I'm talking like 6 years ago. And what can we sell them? And the more we started to think of this for us, over a year, we say, well, instead of trying to do that for us, let's try to do that for the others because they have an audience, they have fan base. So let's try to engage and monetize their fan base instead of trying to do it for ourselves. So that's actually the story I would say it's because of our own need, we created a product that will have fit our need, but eventually we decided to make it fit for the others.
Wow. Okay. And then you just dreamt big and made it happen. And now rumor has it is that the company is going to expand to an office in New York, if that's right. And you've also got teams across like NBA, NFL, NHL even. So where are you looking at first?
It's not us to choose, it's them. We have been talking for 18 months with most of North American leagues. Now we have a very strong track record. We are a 100 people company. We'll be 200 by the end of the year. We have offices a little bit everywhere, but most importantly is we generated for the teams in 2020, we generated like $30 million. This year, we think we're going to generate more than $100 million for the teams that we are working with. And we're already like more than a third of that. We are barely in Q1 and we're already more than a third of this. So we have a track record. We've shown that we were able to deliver. We've shown that we know our stuff. There is plenty of things we don't know, but we know our stuff and the niche and the product that we built. So now it's a matter of education. It's a matter of regulation to make sure that what we do is okay, is regulated, is clear in every country we are covering. And time will tell what are the main other teams / leagues that we will deliver. Probably not all of them, maybe none. We'll see, time will tell. But we are very active and very aggressive because what we do answer to one of their needs, and especially for the teams, is how do they monetize their global fan base? And that's something that they are not equipped for. And as a foreigner, it's actually easier for us to do it.
You are very active as well. I kind of, every time I see a new announcement from yourself and the team, I'm like, wow, do these guys ever sleep? It's just kind of so resilient. Are you finding that regulation has been one of the main hurdles and obstacles? Because you are looking at so many different countries at any given time with the teams reaching out to you.
Regulation is, of course, always it's not a problem. It's rather something that we have to live with it. So, for example, in Poland, which we just signed recently, the biggest team in Poland called Legia, we spent 6 months asking the regulator to get literally a letter saying, hey, is it okay? Can we launch it? Because the team needed comfort that it's okay. So we asked the regulator said, okay, go for it, guys, and etc. We did the same in Spain. We did the same in Germany. We did the same in a few countries. So depends on the country, we work either with the lawyer. Sometimes we ask the regulator when it makes sense. US is a different animal, of course. But regulation, we have, we work in, even though we are based in Malta, regulatory wise, we are not based in Malta. We are actually based between Switzerland and Estonia. And there will be other territories where we will be regulated and licensed because unfortunately that will be a need. And that's okay. For us, the regulation is not an issue because we are not massive crypto exchanges. At the end, we are targeting small funds. So we just want to make sure that someone who wants to spend 50 euro or 5 euro can do it in a very simple way. And that's the challenge, because we do something that can potentially be super regulated, but that regulation doesn't apply at all to our needs. And that's where we have to both work with the regulator, with the lawyers, and push a little bit the limits sometimes.
Amazing. And now just finally, because you do have such a booming community that's growing by the day, do you have a message for any of your community members that might be watching the video?
I have so many amazing community that are following either me or the company and the project. So I will probably try to thank all our communities from Turkey, which is our biggest one right now, Brazil, Japan, Korea, Polish is booming as well, Spanish. I mean, we have so many countries now that are following us and supporting us. But again, we are thankful, we are overwhelmed because it's booming right now. We are also very, I mean, this can go up and down. It doesn't really matter. I always like to say, especially as a company that has like a token or an ecosystem that has a token, is when the token goes up, everybody loves you. When it goes down, everybody hates you and call you a scammer. Yet you're the same person. So you need to mentally be very strong to actually stay kind of neutral on that, because it can be very painful. And social media doesn't help for sure, especially when it goes down. But at the end, we as a business and as an ecosystem, we are building every day. We have more and more users, launching more and more features, announcing more and more teams. And announcing teams is not to make a news. It's actually to launch a product with the team. And that's a big difference with most of the crypto companies.
Well, fantastic. Thank you so much for shedding some light on what's already been such a busy year. And I really look forward to seeing what's going to come next from you and the team. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all for myself and Alex, but we'd love to hear how you found this interview. So drop a comment in the box below if you're watching out for more from the team.